Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray, and today we are talking about the new Laney Supertop Foundry Series 120 watt head. This is a solid state head, got some built-in effects. Haven't talked about an amp in a while, so I figured, why not? So the Laney Supertop is a new feature-packed 120 watt analog amp head. The Laney Supertop new 120 watt twin channel amp head features and launches with a matching 2x12 and 4x12. It's part of their Foundry series and packed with the great British amp tones. So let's see. We have making this 120 watt amp and all analog head a super flexible rig for your guitar setup. They're also releasing tailor-made LF212 and LF412 matching cabinets. The cabinets are loaded with HH acoustic 12-inch speakers and standards. So this two-channel amp head. So is this an acoustic amp? Because I didn't realize this was an acoustic amp when we started doing this. So I think this is an acoustic amp because it says acoustics 12s. Two-channel amp head has a shared 3-band EQ. Packs in some more features to make it even more flexible. The setup also features a global tone control. This lets you fine-tune your overall electric guitar sound after the EQ. Okay, I guess that's just the type of speaker, because I got confused with it being called the HH Acoustics 12. I'm not super familiar with the Laney speakers. I think it was it, an Ironheart a buddy of mine had? That was pretty neat. It sounded super metal. Honestly, when I think Laney, I think metal. So finally, for tone, shaping it is a bright dark switch that is useful for quickly adjusting your sound when switching between guitars with humbuckers, often brighter, and those with single coils, often darker. I don't know, I always thought humbuckers or single coils were brighter, but I mean, I guess to each their own. You are currently viewing a placeholder content. Okay, yep. I hate when they do that. Boost. One of the coolest features is the foot switchable boost, easily adjusted with its distinctive red chicken head dial. The boost effectively transforms the amps to a 3-channel amp. You get a dedicated channel for your clean tones, another for your overdrive, and then by activating the boost, you essentially have a lead channel at your disposal. So moving on to, we have the Lyre, which is Laney Advanced Impulse Response. It is a sliding switch on the back of the amp head that lets you choose between two of Laney's cabinet captures, the GS 1x12 and the GS 4x12, which is interesting because why is there not a 2x12 option when it comes with a 2x12? So already confused with that a little bit. Maybe you just turn it off for the 2x12. So let's go ahead and look at outputs here. For recording or live sound, there's an XLR output to send your signal directly to the mix or digital audio workstation. Then for silent practice, a mini jack headphone out is also included. You have some built-in custom effects. There is some useful built-in effects, including a vintage voice tremolo, a spiral chorus and modulation, black country custom spinal array chorus, interesting. Plus there's the reverb, which is diverted from the Black Country Custom Select Path Spring Reverb pedals. Provides rich, authentic spring reverb sounds. Also has an effects loop for integrating your external pedals, aux in the front for playing along with backup tracks, and a dedicated input for foot switch to toggle built-in reverb on and off. There's the matching 4x12. It looks like a nice cabinet. So this is saying, in terms of the verdict, this latest Foundry Series model packs in a lot of great features. Could be perfect for a lot of guitarists. Having the Lyre at your disposal is very useful. All the built-in effects are going to help make it more versatile. Plus, the foot switchable boost expands. It's beyond simple 2-channel amp head. So do we have a clear, I'm curious if we have a clear picture of the back of this thing. And we don't see a price either. So let's just go ahead and go over to Laney. Life support, everything you need to know. Okay. So here we go. All right, here we go. Here's a nice close-up of the front. So you got your input, you got your boost, clean volume, channel 1, 2, lead gain, lead volume, bright dark, bass, middle, treble, tone, reverb, tremolo, or the spiral chorus. Then you got a rate and a depth. That is your front all tube topology. So I mean, it is a solid state, I believe. So the starting point was mapping in the complete all tube topology of our award-winning Lionheart range into the analog amp. So dual channel, onboard effects, vintage vibes, spiral chorus. Can we get a picture here of the back? Does it get bigger? I would love a bigger picture of the back. Let's see. I see a headphone jack there. There's your switch for like the on-off 1x12, 2x12, which is interesting because, or 2x12, sorry, 1x12, 4x12, which you would think there would be a 2x12 option. I wish I could make this bigger, but it doesn't appear I can. I do love when amps offer the removable cable. Some do, some don't. I prefer it to be removable, as if something happens to it, it is a lot easier just to replace the cable than have to desolder it from the motherboard, typically. So let's see here. So this is a little bit of the back here. So you got remote, reverb tip, effects reverb, boost tip channel ring. You got an effects loop right there, return in and line out. I'm hoping, let's see, loudspeaker, classic wiring 2, total minimum impedance 4 ohms. I'm just hoping that there is a switch. Yeah, because here is the 1x12, 4x12 are off, which confuses me because they're selling this with a 2x12 and not a 1x12. So that is interesting. So 16 pounds, compact, portable. Yeah, I just really wish we had a better image of the back of this thing and a price. Maybe if I do find a dealer. No, we don't need to do show my location. Let's just see here if we can just plug it into the old Google search here and see if I can find it in terms of shopping. Oh, maybe they do have a 1x12. They have a Lionheart, yeah, LT 1x12. Okay. Did not know that. So I guess that's your kind of your option there. Let's go back and let's see if we can find it. Supertop 120. Is this it? $600. Here we go. All right. That's what I want right there. So you got your power, got your plug-in, your wattage consumption, loudspeaker, power mode, 1 watt max. So it looks like there is a 1 watt option, which is nice. Total impedance is 4 ohms. So it looks like you may not have a choice. I know a lot of amps, I feel like they have a switch where you can do, your 4, your 8, and your 16. But it looks like you are just going to be stuck with 4 ohms, so that may be something to consider. I know I have a cabinet that is specifically 8 ohm, so that would not work with this amp head, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. But I guess that is what it is. Let's see if we can look at the 2x12. I'm kind of curious if it tells you what we got going on the back here. Yeah, so the cabinets also specify 4 ohms. So the 2x12 is looking like it's going to be 120 watts. If you want the 2x12, $449. And then the 4x12, the big boy, that is going to be $789. It's actually more expensive than the amp head. So that may be something to think about too. Let's see if this has that same little tag. It's interesting that they kind of, a lot of them, they put it off center. This one is 240 watts. I love the way these things look, but at the same time, you can definitely get a cabinet with better speakers for cheaper. So if you have a cabinet where you can switch, I know one of them, I think my 4x12 cabinet does switch. I think it's actually 8 or 16. I'm not sure if there's a 4 ohm setting on it. I know both of my amp heads, which in retrospect they are tube amp heads as well, they do have a setting to switch between 4 16 and 8. But my one 2x12 cabinet, like these two cabinets, it's wired up 8 ohms. So that's something. If you do buy this, make sure either your cabinet is switchable, or you might have to rewire something, or you may have to buy one of their guitar cabinets with that. I mean, I think it's a cool head. I think it's got some cool features. But as I said, I would prefer this to have the switch that a lot of amp heads have, where it's, you can switch between between the ohms, essentially. That is my only real complaint. Same with the cabinets. Maybe have a switch on there too. Maybe they couldn't the way they wired it. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a wiring expert by any means, but I feel like that would just make it a little bit more versatile, having that option added. But let me know your thoughts down below. While you're down there, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, leave a like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And as always, have a good one.